start in learning was through philosophy, and this can explain a lot about my own attitude toward research and knowledge in general. I am always looking at the current state of the art of research literature through the lens of analysis, focusing on the connection of the research to the fundamental questions that governs philosophy. What is knowledge? Can we get knowledge that is true? And if yes, how? How can we say that the knowledge that we have is false or true? And what methods can guarantee that process? These questions are so critical before even engaging in the act of researching. These questions lead to choosing the scientific research methods which lead to publications. And we all would love some publications, aren't we? I am Ghala, and this is a video essay about why philosophy is important for a researcher and anyone really. Answering those questions is going to determine how you approach seeking knowledge. In the context of research, it's going to determine your individual research orientation, what the subject of your study is, and what methods do you use in research, and so on. So what are the answers to these questions? We are looking at two different types of questions. The first question is about the nature of what we are looking for knowledge about. And that question is, what is reality? And the second type of question is, how can we gain true knowledge about this reality? And this is epistemology, or the quest of knowledge. Let me give you an example so everything would make sense. Let us imagine there is a tree in the desert, and we are not there to observe it. Does this tree exist if we are not there? Some people would say no, and they are taking a critical stance, meaning they don't believe in objective existence. Some would say yes, meaning they believe in objective existence. Those answers determine how can we gain knowledge about the tree. For example, if you believe in objective existence, you might aim to get rid of all subjectivism. You believe you can gain true knowledge through science, lab, etc. On the other hand, you might believe that our knowledge of objective reality is always constructed by our devices that capture that knowledge, including ourselves. This leans toward constructivism. We are participants in creating reality through our mind, but still there is a reality outside that is not exactly like what we observe. Or maybe you believe that reality is always subjective, and there are different realities. This is leaning toward a critical stance. Either way, you are accommodating your research methodology to the premise of your belief. When we select one of these approaches and we conduct research and produce research, we create theories, models that interpret our findings and why things are the way they are. So, as you can see, it is very important for you to know these theories in your field, social science and psychology, for example, to help you understand what was done, because we don't simply reinvent the wheel, and find gaps in knowledge that you are going to research and add new knowledge to. Now, these three construct the conceptual framework, theoretical framework that explain things. When you do your research and get your data, there are two possible scenarios that happens. Either your data is explainable by the theoretical framework, or it's not. When it does not make sense, there are two possible explanations. Either you are stupid, and I'm kidding, or you lack an understanding in some aspect of the theory. Therefore, you tell your supervisor and he might be able to correct your understanding. Or the theory itself might need some adjustment. Or in another case, and this is really dangerous, the theory itself is wrong, and we need shift in paradigm. Of course, in that case, people will call you crazy or say you are stupid, and they might be correct most of the time, but sometimes you might be correct. And in that scenario, you learn important lessons about group thinking and how can you rebel. And like many things in life, things needs time. And if you were correct in your new theory, others gonna conduct experiment and data that support your theory gonna compile. And they gonna give you Nobel Prize eventually. So hang on and do not attempt suicide in the process. Because believe me, you're gonna get the chance to tell them, I told you so. And as you can see, philosophy is really important in making you a competent researcher. It makes you aware of the process, and you can smoothly go from one area of research to another. Most importantly, it's gonna make you know what the heck actually are you doing. And this is the most needed human feeling on earth. So next time someone says philosophy is useless, take a breath and don't try to punish anybody in the face. This is a reminder to myself, really. You don't need to punish anyone in the face. You can use words instead to convince them. A book that was actually key in making me realize how I can communicate why philosophy is important, especially in the context of research, is a book named Practical Guide to Theoretical Framework for Social Science Research. It's a fantastic book and it shows key theories in different fields in social sciences. I highly recommend it. That's it. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.